And so we've just grouped our wheel and made it into a movie clip object. Now I'm going to edit the timeline specifically for this movie clip object. One thing else I forgot to do that we will need to do for our action script is I have this wheel selected. Let's give it an instance name so that we can reference it in our code. Now I'm going to double click on the wheel. This is the wheel's timeline. I'd like to animate the wheel to rotate along this timeline. In order to do that, he has to be a movie clip. So I'm going to make him an inner movie clip. So this is his inner self. I'm going to make it a movie clip by hitting the F8 key again. And I'm going to call this inner wheel. Now I can right click on this movie clip object, tell it to create a motion tween. It does down here in the timeline. I can rotate within this tween, so I'm going to click on the tween itself in the timeline. It'll open up the properties for the tween, and now I can tell it to rotate one time. And I'm going to need to rotate counterclockwise. Wait, let's think here. Yes, we'll have to rotate counterclockwise, and I can see that it's rotating the right way when I scrub my playhead. So the wheel's animated, and now I need to add it to the car. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to drag my instance of my wheel down inside of my car. Get him just about right. And now I'm going to Control C and Control V, make another instance of my wheel. Now I'd like one instance to be called Wheel 1. And I'd like the second instance of my wheel to be called Wheel 2. So now I have Wheel 1 and Wheel 2. Now I'd like to combine the wheels with the car and make a single movie clip object to roll across the screen. So I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to Control G first and make it a group, and then I'll push my F8 key and I'm going to make it a movie clip object. I'm going to call him Final Car. Now I'm going to take this movie clip object and I'm going to right click on him and say create a motion tween. I'm going to have him move across the screen, and I want him to do that within a couple of seconds. So I'm going to come over here to my timeline and I'll press the F6 key to create a keyframe. Now on my first keyframe, I'll start on my first keyframe, I'll put the car where I would like him to begin, which is over here on the right outside of my stage. And on my last keyframe, I'm going to put where I would like the car to end up. So I would like him to end on this side of my stage. And you gotta grab it right about there so that you can drag him to that side of the stage. Now I can test my car. So go ahead and hit Control Enter. You can see that the tires do rotate on their own timeline, the wheels, and my car is playing. Now I'm getting that flashing error because of my background. So if I go back to my trace layer, and I go back to frame 1 where my picture was, I can now delete that picture. I can keep this layer, I can call it my background layer, and I can actually post a picture for my background. So I'm going to go ahead and post a picture of my background. Stay tuned in part 4 where we'll go over the action script code.